Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show where a man completely immersed in anime culture torments his co-host, who is only allowed to watch the shows featured here. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/animeoutofcontext. Alongside over 100 hours of exclusive bonus material, all episodes uploaded to Patreon are completely ad-free, even to non-patrons. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And sometimes when you mash two great things together, you only get a greater thing. It's the only possibility.
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase. Just like you and I, Shaun. Combine two great things, it can only get better. There's not a single example otherwise.
I don't know. Some of the emails we get makes me think otherwise. Just recently we got a email saying, fuck you, Remington, and that was all it said. That was...
we get a lot of those. That's just how it goes.
So if you want to send us nice emails instead, we'd like that. That'd be great. But, well, I suppose I want to stay on a positive mindset, because last week was a little rough, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, just a wee bit.
So in fact, I figured that rather than just bombard you with things that are meant to emotionally devastate you like some people want me to do...
I would rather you not.
Yeah, a little aftercare, as it were. A little aftercare. And I figured, what better way to give you a little aftercare than with a half-length series about a topic that you adore.
Okay.
And that topic is, of course, poetry.
I do like poetry. I like me some good poetry.
You do. And poetry is honestly the thing people ask me about when I'm streaming on Twitch, because they want you to go back to your poetry streams. That's the big thing that they always ask me about.
My Toby Literature Clubs, it was surprisingly successful. It will return. It will return.
Someday. But with that in mind, I have a cute little short half-length anime about, well, it's a cute little show about a girl who really only communicates by using haikus.
Oh man, that's a hell of a way to communicate.
Yeah, well, hey, introverts, man, they do their best. They do their best. And that's what we're watching today. We're watching a show called Senryuu Shoujo, or just Senryuu Girl. And that is exactly what it is. It is a story about our main character, Nanako Yukishiro, and our other main character, Eiji Busujima. And Nanako is basically just a very shy girl who has a hard time expressing herself and her feelings, but she loves poetry and haikus, and finds that the easiest way for her to communicate her feelings and emotions, and just in general, is by writing quick haikus to communicate with her friends and loved ones. It's social anxiety, just with a bit of a poetry flavor.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. And
see, it's what I was talking about. Two great things that are great when put together.
Yeah, and it's a specific type of... It's not haikus exactly, Rem. It is senryu, which is... They're like shorter haikus, Rem. But it's 17 syllables, so that's actually less than a haiku.
No, 17 is just a haiku. That's just the same length.
575? That's it. Fuck, you're right. So they are just haikus. What the fuck? Why are there two words for it? Why are there two words for it? Power of Wikipedia has saved me a little bit. They are similar to haiku in construction, but they're specifically about human foibles or nature, which haikus are also about nature. Look, hey gang, Remington's the one who's the expert on poetry. And I was right initially when I said, it's about haikus, but not haikus. So, we don't need to focus too much on this. The point is, this girl uses poetry to communicate. Isn't that cute? Don't you like a cute little anime about that?
Jesus Christ.
Look,
what a goddamn mess.
Dylan's a magical editor. He can fix this.
What is there to fix? That's the juice, baby.
I don't think that is.
This is an extra juicy episode is all I'm hearing.
Ren, they're gonna think I'm dumb.
Oh, baby. There's so much juice. That's our roles, Shaun. You're the juice and I'm the pulp.
Is it because you're extra thick?
Many people are saying. Have we fucked this episode? How bad does an episode need to be for us to just scrap it
entirely? I can tell you right now, like, it's not gonna be this.
We're not there yet. Our standards are lower.
Yep. Apparently Senryuu are also called human haikus, so they're like haikus generally focused on the humans and the human condition, whereas haikus tend to be more focused about, broadly speaking, nature itself.
Wait. Here, Shaun. Here's what we're gonna do. Just, rewind.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Shaun, so what are Senryuu?
Well, Remington, Senryuu are very similar to haikus, but the subject matter of them tends to differ, as Senryuu tend to focus more on humans and their foibles.
Ah, I see. Well, thank you, Shaun. How knowledgeable of you.
Yes, I am very knowledgeable. I am the expert on the podcast, and I'm here to teach you, Remington, of course. So, yes, just going straight into it, that's the premise. I mean, it's just the story of this girl and her friends, and AG, the main dude, is, well, there's a little bit of romantic subtext here and there, just a little bit, as a treat, and it's just a little story about these two friends.
I have to say,
yeah,
I think I prefer romantic dom text.
Well, Remington, I have some websites for you if that's what you're really interested in. Hey, buddy, if that's what you'd like, I can help you.
God, this episode is so juicy right now.
It is the juiciest episode. Well, hopefully we'll be able to put a little bit of extra pulp into it in the second half. So I think without further ado, Rem, let's go watch some Senryuu Shoujo. Researching topics for the show isn't always as easy as checking reviews, watching the show, and reading a few discussion boards. Sometimes I have to go to some rather unsavory websites, and that's when I have to use my browser's little friend. You know, the little guy with a hat and glasses when you open up incognito mode for a little bit of late night research. That guy has seen some shit. Good thing he knows how to keep a secret. Oh wait, he doesn't. Just take a look at the headlines regarding a recent $5 billion lawsuit regarding incognito tracking. Even with Mr. Incognito on duty, every single thing you've ever clicked on is fully visible to anyone who owns your Wi-Fi. Who's that, you ask? Could be any number of things. Your work, your school's IT department, your parents. If that sounds concerning, you probably need ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is an easy-to-use app that sends 100% of your traffic through their encrypted servers, so no matter your choice in research or cinema, it cannot be seen by anyone. It's like a super incognito mode that actually works. And speaking of cinema, ExpressVPN also unlocks a ton of new movies and TV shows because you can choose where in the world you want to be. Take the highly acclaimed show The Apothecary Diaries, for example. That show isn't on Netflix in the US, but if you use ExpressVPN to switch your location to Japan, you can watch it there. Solo Leveling is another good one. Netflix doesn't have English subs while we're in Japan, but I got them just by changing my location to Singapore, Marina Bay. ExpressVPN is also great for Crunchyroll. Unless you're in the US, you're missing out on a ton of shows, but with just one click, I can switch to an American IP address and get the full experience. I can literally go to more than 100 different countries and watch basically whatever I want on any streaming platform. Plus, ExpressVPN works on all my devices. I can use it on my phone, TV, computer, whatever. So I can watch whatever I want. Everything from Netflix to OnlyFans without the world knowing about it. I love ExpressVPN so much, I even got them to give you an incredible deal. If you use our special link, expressvpn.com/AOOC, you'll get 3 extra months completely free. That's expressvpn.com/AOOC to help support the podcast and get 3 extra months of ExpressVPN absolutely free. And we are back after watching all 12 episodes of the 2019 spring anime Senryuu Shoujo, or Senryu Girl. And Remington, did it scratch that poetry itch that you were looking for? Was it a good way to spend a solid afternoon? Or are you angry at me again because I'm such a naughty boy?
Well, you are certainly a naughty boy, Shaun. Senryuu Shoujo, it had some ups, had some downs, but overall, a nice, wholesome, silly, fun little show, a lighthearted romp through. But I did something that I don't think anybody has ever done before, Shaun.
A bold claim, especially on our anime podcast, which nobody has ever done one of those before either.
As you can see, we're bursting with originality.
Mm-hmm.
But this I'm pretty confident in.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident in this, Shaun. Because, after watching through the entirety of this show, wholesome, silly, very lighthearted, doesn't take itself very seriously. I followed that up, a little chaser, if you will.
Okay.
Requiem for a Dream.
No, Ram!
Which
You didn't! No!
It was an adventure,
Ram!
to say the least.
Holy shit!
That's a double feature you will not find in any theater anywhere. I'll tell you that right now.
No, dear God, Ram!
A hell of a 1-2 punch.
If anything, you're supposed to do the painful one first and follow it up with the nice wholesome one. Ram, I specifically told you that if you're gonna watch Requiem for a Dream, you gotta take some time.
Oh, for those who don't know, Requiem for a Dream, it's a classic movie all about addiction and self-destruction and, bleak despair.
And it'll fuck you up. I'm still fucked up and I watched it 10 years ago.
It's not the most, optimistic movie out there, and so when I tell you that it's truly back-to-back, Senryuu Shoujo into Requiem for a Dream, boy oh boy, it was an experience. It was unique, and so I can confidently say I don't think anybody ever has done that before, Shaun.
No, you know what? I'm gonna agree with you. First of all, not a lot of people have seen Requiem for a Dream, but the people who have can all confirm that, oh man, I don't think
plenty of people have seen Requiem for a Dream. It's pretty popular.
Okay, but if you're to ask most of the people in our generation if they've seen it, I feel like you're gonna be like, oh no, what's that about? And then you're gonna immediately shut up and be like, probably best if you don't know. It is heavy shit. So yeah, no, you all kinds of fucked up your perspective. That's...
What an adventure we have been on today.
Yeah. Are you good? Out of curiosity?
Probably.
Because, it fucked me up when I first watched it.
It's fine. But hey, we're not here. I just wanted to provide context. So if halfway through describing Senryuu Shoujo, if there's just
You start...
yeah, if I just start weeping or have a mental breakdown, it all makes sense.
Cool, buddy. Yeah. For those who care, the official podcast stance is only watch Requiem for a Dream if you want to really hate yourself for a day or longer.
Hey man, I'm just saying, if you want a one-of-a-kind experience, I don't know if it's a good experience. I wouldn't say that this double feature, a good double feature will be better than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case here.
I'm gonna go with no.
I don't think they really had much to add to one another,
No. Any fluffy positive feelings that Senryuu Girl may have given you were immediately dragged down into the heart-aching abyss of Requiem for a Dream. Holy shit. Okay, right.
So let's talk about, without further ado, Senryuu Shoujo. Senryuu Shoujo, it's a story about Nanako, and she only writes and only communicates through Senryu, through fun little human haikus. And she is very close friends. In first episode, I'm in love with you. It's not good. It's a fucking mess.
Mm-hmm.
It is... Throughout the show, this is kind of an ongoing problem. There's kind of shit writing.
Ah.
It's not great writing. they showed up with certain skill sets. There's fun Senryus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fun little poems. That's enjoyable and unique. But just like the character dialogue, it's very often hot garbage. But she's very close with the school delinquent. He's a spooky guy. He's not even really a delinquent. He just has a scary face sometimes. And that's kind of all there is to it. He also only has one outfit. All the girls, they get a bunch of outfits. He gets one, because that's where their priorities are.
To be fair, as a teenager, I regularly rotated between like 2 or 3 outfits, so I can kind of get that perspective.
So this guy, Busujima, he is the devil of West Junior High, which I'm gonna love with you. If that's your nickname, and if people are like referring to you with that nickname, let alone with fear and reverence, y'all fucked up. Like, both you and everybody who utilizes that nickname, y'all fucked up. If you're still living on your junior high infamy, oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
I think your future shot. I think that's over for you.
Look, not many people remember junior high, Shaun, and I'm glad for that fact. So,
and you might think, oh well, they're just in high school, so it's not that different. It's still in recent memory. No, let me tell you right now, I would say 80% of people go through a radical either personal change or at very least like reputational or interpersonal change. Like one or the other. As soon as they switch from junior high to high school. It is very quick because you're like, new environment, new people. Some people will even try to force a new them. That was always fun to see, where they were like, I am going to not subtly change my personality, not kind of like go with the flow. I am going to make a conscious and deliberate decision to radically change it. And hey, props to those people, It's a wild decision, but they made it. So these two characters, Nanako and Busujima, they like each other, obviously. And also they make it obvious to one another that they like each other, but it takes 12 episodes for them to not confess.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you got 12 episodes out of it. You reach episode 12 and you're like, oh, they're reminiscing, now it's the fucking time. And then they don't. Throughout the entire show, it is like so obvious, where like the confession should have happened episode 2, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But then it doesn't, and you're like, okay, well, at least like we'll get to the end and they will. And then they just fucking don't. Come on now. What the hell?
I mean, to be fair, Rem, this is a 4-coma adaptation.
Oh man. And so we have a few other characters. We have the Lit Club president, Amane. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
We have Kodo, who she is kind of like an older sister to Busujima, right? That's how she introduces herself. But she's not actually his sister, but she does really want to fuck him.
Like sisters do.
And I should mention, that's not the order that the information is given to you as a viewer. The way it's given is, oh, that's his older sister, and she really wants to fuck him. Oh, but they're technically not actually related. And it's kind of just a throwaway line that they're not related. For all intents and purposes, like they are. They're trying to do the porn loophole, Shaun.
The oh no stepsister situation, I see.
Yeah, as long as you just throw in a quick, step, then it's fine. It's completely different.
Yeah, because you know what they say. All you need to be away from a crime is a single step, I suppose.
and so, and I should also note, weirdly, so we have this weird thing with Kodo and Busujima. Busujima is also a low-key siscon for his little sister. Like, his opening personality trait, they're like, he has a scary face, and man, he loves his little sister. And that's... And then when you're like, and his older sister wants to fuck him. What's going on? What's going on here? These are not great dynamics.
There's some ingredients here that probably shouldn't be here, is what you're saying.
Yeah. We meet 3 other meaningful characters. First, we meet we meet Tao, who is the fortune teller, Chunibyo goth girl.
Yep.
Basically, right? And she is fine. And then we meet Kino. Kino is great. She is the drawing equivalent of Nanako. Nanako communicates via poetry. Kino communicates via drawings. And it's very charming. She just has a sketch pad. Often she'll draw her face and like whatever text or reaction and just put it in front of her face. It's very charming. It's strange that she's introduced relatively late, all things considered. Because if anything, this show it's kind of a gimmick show.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It doesn't have enough meat on the bones to justify it. If you're going to this restaurant, it's not because it's going to give you the best cuisine around. All right, it's because it has a fun gimmick. All right, you're like, oh man, have you seen their tower of onion rings is 4 feet tall. That's crazy. And you go there and then they're like really mediocre onion rings and you're just like, cool, but it's like a huge tower. That was fun. They lighted a blaze like a volcano. It's just bullshit like that, right?
I know. I like how you're kind of throwing some soft shade at Red Robin with their tower of onion rings.
I've never ordered their tower of onion rings because why would I? I don't give a shit.
I have on several occasions because I love onion rings. And they're
But
okay. Okay.
It's just the case where, you're not going to come watching the show because it has the greatest story or the greatest characters or the greatest romance or the greatest dialogue. It doesn't have particularly amazing any of those things. It has a fun gimmick that then is kind of matched up with a fun gimmick later with Kino, the drawing girl. So that's real nice. And the final character who's important is Oink. Oink is Busajima's pig rabbit. It is both an abomination upon God, and I love it so goddamn much.
I had a feeling you would.
It's cute and weird, and I don't fully understand it, but I love it all the same. Obviously, Oink, number one in the power rankings, followed by, we're gonna go with Kino. Fun drawing, lots of fun gags there. Followed by Nanako. They become charming, but they also kind of don't have a character for most of the show. Their character is just vaguely reacting and not doing much. For fourth place, we will do Busujima. Similarly, he half develops a personality. Tao doesn't do much. Kodo is actively annoying. All right, there we go. There's our power rankings.
That's exactly what you need in a little short form slice of life show. The power rankings of the characters.
I thought so.
Yeah, and just for frame of reference, it is a 4-coma adaptation. So that means each chapter is, 4 panels. And there are 173 total chapters, and it's finished. So
it does raise the question, Shaun.
Actually, wait a minute. This last chapter isn't 4-coma at all. What the hell are you doing to me? There's so much misinformation about the show, apparently. Like, wait a minute. Why is this last hold on. Clicking on a rent. These are 4. Okay, yes, they are. Okay, cool. Okay. It's mostly 4-coma with an occasional full chapter. That makes more sense.
Okay. Well, here's the issue, Shaun.
Yep.
This is, it feels very much like it wants to be short form, right? Or that it should be short form.
Right.
It wanted to be long form, but recognized it had nowhere near enough for that. So it settled on half length, which is still too much. Most of the time, they really are just running in place for 10 minutes, where they're like, hey, isn't this a fun little thing? And you're like, yeah. And then it just kind of stares at you and you're like, yeah, that was nice and enjoyable. And it was like, okay, like, is the episode over? It's like, no. We got 5 minutes left. I'm like, oh, are we gonna like advance some story or develop this fun thing a little further? And it was like, no, that's kind of all I had. And then I wonder what the fuck we're doing. Like, if it was just short form where you had fun little bits and bobs, just especially leaning into the absurdist comedy, oh my god, it'd be great. I would have adored it all the way through. Because if you cut it down to its best moments, that's a really strong short form. It has a lot of great humorous moments very funny, very silly, lots of great physical gags that are nice. But for every great moment, there is like 20 seconds of dead air where nothing really is happening. The characters aren't doing much at all. I don't give a shit about what's going on, and I'm not having a good time. And so I'm just confused why they try to make it something it wasn't. Also, sometimes, not always, this is just a very inconsistent show, sometimes it just gets really horny. There is one episode in this 12-episode half-length series that's just fan service.
Yep.
Unsurprisingly, it is, it's a bikini episode. That's all it is. And you might think, okay, an episode where they wear bikinis, that's very common, but you can't just say it's just there for fan service. What's the story of the episode? The story of the episode is they get bikinis and then they wear bikinis. And they're like, oh man, look at us in our bikinis. That is that's it. There is no more than that. It was my shortest summary in my notes because there's nothing to describe. How can they afford to waste an entire episode on fan service when they only have 12 half-length episodes to begin with? What are they doing?
Well, that's a question you could probably ask the studio. That would be let's see, Studio Connect is the studio that did this one. That ring any bells to you at all? Think we've ever talked about them before?
Nope, not at all.
Well, that's correct because we've never done one of their shows before. Oh wait, nope, I just lied to you. We have done a single one of their shows before.
Oh.
Yep, and I'm sure it's one that you remember. Oh wait, no, we haven't done it.
Of course.
We haven't done this show. It's a show that's just painfully similar looking. Oh my god.
Okay. It's just
so no,
one
we haven't.
so generic.
Yep.
That's funny as fuck.
Yeah, so nope. This is the only show that the studio has done, that we've done. So, you can direct all your complaints to Studio Connect. And just for frame of reference, this is their third best show.
And throughout it, like, once again, most of the characters are just kind of meaningless. They either have a gimmick or they don't have much of a personality at all. And that's not great. I think the one that does drawing and stuff, awesome. As well as, like, look, it's a gimmick show already. That one has a different gimmick that works with this one. That's fun and silly. Why not? Let's lean into it, shall we? And here's the thing, Shaun. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking a lot of shit. There's one episode that I think is just very successful and fills its runtime in a not too shabby way. And that's episode 12, the final episode that should have been, I would argue, like the entire show.
Mm.
Because if in a gimmick show, right, you should just lean into the gimmick a little bit, right?
Yeah.
That's what I think. You can either like start with the gimmick and be like, hey, but we're so much more than that, but then you actually need to be more than that, which unfortunately this doesn't do. Or you say, we're going to lean into this gimmick. It's real interesting and weird and nifty. Episode 12, we have our two protagonists. They're eating on the school roof, and they remember the day that they met, right? And so the episode is 90% just a flashback to when they were meeting. And basically, Busujima, he wanted to reform. He was a big bully, big scary bully, and he wanted to reform, and he accidentally made a Senryuu and was like, that's kind of cool. Let's just do that instead of being a bully. And so he goes, and he goes to like this little club, this little poetry meetup, and he gives his Senryuu, and everybody is unimpressed. They're looking at him like, what the fuck? But Nanako likes it. She thinks that it's fun and she vibes with it. And so she supports him, and he's appreciative. He's like, thanks. That was supportive and meaningful to me. And he kind of like runs off, right? But then, and here's what I think should have been the show, right? 1, it should have been short form. 2, this should have been it. They start communicating as pen pals through Senryuu on just like a public bulletin. And that is a lot of fun. That is great. I think just make it short form where we follow Nanako, right? And she kind of interacts with, say, she's still friends with the president and with Kino, right? The drawing girl. She's friends with both of them, so we'll see some light interactions with them. But amongst these like light interactions with them, the crux of each episode, it's like kind of bookended by a little pen pal, making Senryus to one another and a little conversation happening that way. Oh, how cute, how adorable. And it all builds up to them finally meeting in episode 11 or 12. Cute and adorable, there we go. That would have been great. It would have been simple and easy and nice. You could have had basically all the good jokes you already had, scrap all the ones that didn't work and a lot of the really bad writing, lean into your gimmick a bit more, bada bing, bada boom.
You know, I mean, that actually sounds pretty solid to me.
Like, it just makes sense to me. And then they start trying some drugs here and there,
Wait,
maybe a little bit of medical malpractice.
No.
They start spiraling downward. Then the Senryu the poetry just becomes distorted and fucked up, and you start to lose your tether on reality. And after that, oh man, then you get filled with despair, hopelessness, limitations. You shatter all interpersonal relationships. It just gets dark and fucked up. Maybe save that for season 2.
I should not have told you to watch that movie. I should have left that like as a mystery. Cause one thing's for certain, Rem, you're probably not gonna forget Senryuu Shoujo because you paired it with fucking Requiem for a Dream.
Hey, listeners, if you want another fun double feature, first you watch some Umaru-chan, and then if you're having fun with cute little rodents, maybe you want to continue that up with some Watership Down. Just some fun blend of herbs and spices we got going here.
My Christ, I'm gonna be sick from the combination. Holy fuck, man. Oh my Christ almighty. Okay. Yeah, nope. I think that's it. I think we're done. Rem, what do you think the battle score for Senryuu Shoujo is? Otherwise, I'm gonna keep thinking about Requiem for a Dream and be sad again.
Well, okay, it's a half-length show. It is kind of poorly done, and its main gimmick is something that primarily applies to a very niche group of people, of which I am a part. But I think this is gonna be a 6.89, but I also think that it will have so few ratings that it could get a little bit swingy.
Okay. Well, Remington, this 2019 anime only has 80,000 rankings on Mal, which is decently surprising, considering. And with that 80,000, Senryuu Shoujo is sitting nice and pretty at a quite shocking 7.37.
Wow!
Yeah. Generally speaking, a lot of the people that rated this highly either came from the manga, which they enjoyed and had fun with, or just enjoyed it as a non-complicated show with, like, the flaws were so forgivable in most weebs' eyes that it didn't really stand out as anything too horribly offensive. And, like, a good, like, third of those votes are 7s out of 10. So, like...
Well, here, let me say what I think this is most useful for in the weeb community.
Okay.
And a part of me, this is just speaking to Sean Rollins.
Me specifically?
Well, yeah, because this is your oeuvre. Reaction images, reaction gifs. That's what this show is
yes.
probably best for. That's probably like its broadest appeal, I think, is gonna be in its reaction images.
You are correct. I searched Senryu in the gift tab on Discord, and it immediately gave me a shit ton of gifts. So, you know what?
Yep.
There we go. Hey, when you hit the nail on the head, you can't really do much else, huh, Rem?
When you know, you know.
When you know, you know. And the one thing I know for certain is I had no way of knowing how this episode was going to go, Rem, once you brought in certain stories. But I guess the final question I need to ask you is, any chance you want to watch it? Actually, no, they're like, we finished it. It's done. And the chances of it getting a second season aren't very high. I mean, I could find some copies of the manga to lend you if you like. I mean, if you're interested, but that's basically all I can offer you.
And yeah, even if there was season 2, I think I'm pretty happily done with it. It's not actively bad. It is like an inoffensive 4 out of 10. It has some fun moments, but also I don't think the quality is there.
With that in mind, then, I suppose thank you all so much for tuning in. If you enjoy Remington suggesting the worst double features of all time, then please head on over to wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a review. They mean the world to us, and we do read every single one. And if that is not enough for you, you can head on over to twitch.tv/animeoutofcontext, where myself, Dylan, and Remington occasionally play video games very poorly. And lately especially, I get very bullied by the Twitch chat, with no help from my friends. Thanks, gang.
Hell yeah.
And if that is still not enough for you, you can head on over to patreon.com/animeoutofcontext, where you gain access to all kinds of lovely bonus material, including having the opportunity to be thanked live on the podcast. So, Rem, who are we thanking this week?
Well, as always, we would like to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. But moving on, we get to our yandere waifus, who are mixing up the CDs. Who knows what we're gonna end up watching? Is it gonna be wholesome? Is it gonna be very not wholesome? Let's see. And on that list we have, my name is First Now Bitch. Oops, sorry, I was just overly excited. You're not a bitch, please don't hurt me. Zombie Stomp, Xanax, Yummy Yummy Cummy in my tummy yummy cummy, Yandere Neko, Why Shaun, Where's our DBC review, you ginger fuck? Wes Kane, Walk Me Home Gently, Viva la Haruhi Revolution, Call to Arms, fellow worshippers of Haruhiism, Utah #1, Unhinged Prax, Tum Yum Cum, Totally God's Angel, Titan CNH. This show is a ploy to get re-elected. The Susanator, the pocket big hole you need in your pocket, the Flying Spaghetti Monster. The Danish Viking will conquer the world with Roronosauro as my navigator. The capybara is turning religious this finals week because only God can save her now. Turban, Super Zoo, Stacy's mom, Spoon Man, Fighter of the Knife Man, So this next step is the most critical one of, yo, if you're going out, pick Misaka up a couple of donuts. Snaky Pie, Smoochies for the DM, please. Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life. Shoujo Addict who doesn't need help, just more manga to read and anime to watch. Shaun wants to give Spoon Man a thank and yank. Shaun X Rem Battle Hentai, where barehanded street fight devolves into bedroom wrestling. Jesus Christ. Shaun told me to fuck my sister, and now my family won't talk to me. Shaun ruined my happy sugar life when he forced me to drink his special white syrup every day for a summer and made my tummy hurt. Shaun makes the Spoon Man come. There's extra degeneracy.
Extra degeneracy. God.
Shaun had a lass that could go all night, but he got out of breath when he had to blow her up. Shaun got banned from the local pet store for hitting on the bunnies. Shaun, can we get a mind game review? Shaun can do these nuts. Seraphim the shark plushie. Segoy to Guy, that's what she said. Say hi to the people saying hi to Haley. Say hi to that guy's fiance, think it's Haley. Ross Palmer, Riku the Dawn Hero. Rhiannon Williams, Remington is right. Rem will conquer the world with his Pui Pui Molcar army. Rem uses the drums of liberation to free all weeps from bad anime. Rem hit rock bottom is still on top of Shaun. Rem doesn't completely hit my favorite shows. Pro tips out of context, the next time someone tells you the government wouldn't do that, oh yes they would, they already have. Professor Fox, Pockwell Musico. Onichi Ichi 10 out of 10 family show. No waifu, no lifu. 907, Nick. Necophiliac Phil feels philosophical feeling felines. Necrodancer 1415. Mysterious Girlfriend X would be a wild episode. Musical episode guy here with Spoon Man to say thanks for the second musical episode. Makeka 7 Hairto, Myrmicorn Fire, March comes in like my loins, making fake Malacan so I can rate Forest Fairy 5 10 out of 10. Macaroni Cheesehaw, Link Joe Girl, Leave Insanity, Kylo, King Rich Rock, Cassidy, Jerkidius, Josh D, Jax, Jam Hands, Icon Scout. I will never get more Ace of the Diamond, now I cry. I was hoping Rem would dislike Eva more than he did and validate my opinion. I tried manscaping with a straight edge razor. I dream of Pui Pui. I can't believe I made an account for this. Hey Shaun, can you cover Loveless for the cats? Glenn Michael Dolan, Ginger Weeb, Fern the guy who did the thing that one time. Fern Weeb's hot take of the week. Rem would make a better Jesus than the JC himself. Yeah, let's just stoke some religious controversy here. It's great. Fantide, Erica McCorkle. Dylan, now's your time for recognition. Could you corrupt Shaun saying Spoon Man, you are so big, how will you ever fit?
Oh. This is
Jesus.
Our patron reads have turned into a disaster zone.
When did Spoon Man become so horny?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think I missed that bit.
Things have gotten hornier since you gave them permission last week.
Well, yeah, towards you, but why with Spoon Man?
I don't know.
Why? Like, I knew they'd be hornier towards you, but why are they hornier with Spoon Man? either towards or like using him as a tool, often like along with you. Who knows? Do you accept the Spoon Man as your Lord and Savior? Do you remember that time Shaun fell off his stool? Danielle Riot, Daddy Rum, tell me a bedtime story. Countrified Goth has emerged from her depression cocoon and decided to change her name. Cheese Monkey. Cat girls are best girls, so give them cute little paws. Castlevania, though, guys. Brockhart for Geodudes. Blake Star. Burt Bartholomew Flem. Bento Kato, a bi girl seeking tickets to Yamfest. Been a while since I've changed my name on here, but I got a third 4.0. Can't believe it. I'm also changing my major from funeral. And every day that Raven comes to visit. Amazing Muffin. All hail Pui Pui Philosopher King. AJ Tunnels. Aisha Gudgy. Adele Girl. And Dot. Now we move on to the Boy Wizard tier. What are they going to get, Shaun?
Man, they are going to get some double features.
Perfect. Week 1, asking for Darling and the Franks visit.
You're gonna get the double feature of Untraceable and Hot Shots.
Next up is Vincent Calabrese.
Saint Maud and Save the Last Dance.
That Mouse Girl.
Jesus Christ. Major League and the Mighty Ducks.
Shaun, what does that spell?
It spells Rush Hour and Eight-Legged Freaks.
Jeez. Tails Williams watches Dr. Jones get shot.
You're going to get Josie and the Pussycats and Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare.
Silent Secondary.
You're going to get Let Me In and Batman and Robin.
Scourge, best $20 spent, LMAO.
Jesus Christ. So, you're going to get Star Trek Beyond and My Best Friend's Exorcism.
Ryan and Milena want to play Pathfinder.
You're going to get Secret Window and Joseph King of Dreams.
Roscoe.
You're going to get Friends with Benefits and Hairspray.
Remington is the cult leader of the Patreon.
You're going to get The House of Frankenstein and Constantine.
Remington Chase's laugh is my favorite sound.
You're going to get Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and The Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Rare Kumiko thanks Shaun for putting up with his antics. Thanks Dylan for all his hard work editing the podcast. Will continue to support the show with multiple accounts and is now hoping for Shaun to show Rem Hitori Bochi no Maru Maru Sekatsu. Just give them 5 to watch all at once.
Yep. You're going to get Ratatouille, Boss Baby, Rampage, Bringing Out the Dead, and Free Willy.
Oh boy. Nightshade Blade wants to gush over magical girls.
Ooh, God. Some of these movies are real stinkers, gang. But you're going to get Chain Reaction and The Road to El Dorado.
Then we have Nightmare Abervarin Schonmal in Baden-Württemberg.
We need to talk about Kevin and The Good Dinosaur.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Monogatari has everything I said you like in an anime. This week they do some things very different way.
You know, how about Total Recall and Zombieland?
And we got Mike.
You're going to get The Day the Earth Stood Still and The Witches.
Miguel Delion.
Babadook and Watchman.
Latino's 424th anime at 21 was The Duke of Death and His Maid Season 2. Please, Rem, stop flashing me. Sean Rollins, 2023.
Why does it feel like that's something I would have said? Also, I'm sorry for your combination. You're going to get Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House, and Step Up 3D.
Jesus. I'd love to see the Docu Museum, also known as the other half of Sean's collection.
You're going to get the Jane Austen Book Club and 101 Dalmatians 2, Patch's London Adventure.
It's just that spy guy.
You're going to get Star Trek First Contact and Orange County.
I have a mechanical keyboard problem.
You're going to get DreamWorks Robots and 42, the Jackie Robinson story.
Drew asks, to Pui Pui or not to Pui Pui?
You're going to get the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, and 21.
Decade 1 of All Father, making Patreon accounts until Shaun chose Remington Dragon Pilot.
Oh god, I've seen this movie. It's fucking dog shit. Sorry about this. You're going to get Stay Alive and The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1.
Crosskirk.
You're going to get Jesus Christ, this generator's not being nice. Cats and Dogs and Keeping the Faith.
Crimson Reapers, just because of the scythes.
You're going to get An American Haunting and Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters.
Carver 271.
You're going to get Hannah Montana the movie and Child's Play 3.
Blood Cell, here to remind you that white blood cells are inferior. You need the red ones to thank and yank anyway.
How about Cujo and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3?
Beethoven 1201.
You're going to get The Grudge and Smokey and the Bandit.
Anonymous.
You're going to get Silent Hill Revelation 3D and Batman Begins.
Anime mashup of the week, Teasing Master Hellsing-san.
You're going to get Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and I, Robot.
Animated Z.
You're going to get Hobo with a Shotgun and The Diary of a Teenage Girl. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Now we move on to the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier. Now, I'm a level with you. It is very tempting to make Shaun write a haiku for every single person. But I think he might die.
That's a lot of haikus off the cuff, and I'm not good at them to begin with. I have one haiku to my name that I'm proud of, and it's the one time you forced me to write one about you in a diner setting at 3 a.m.
So what we'll do is we will collaborate to make a haiku just for you. He will do the first 5, I'll do 7, he'll do the last 5, as Joey Wheeler, of course. We go with Rowdy-O.
Oh god, hey Yugs, have you heard?
Have you heard about the bird?
I hear the bird is word. No wait, that's 6. Fuck!
No, wait, yeah, good enough. Oh god, off to a great start. I really need subtitles. Half the time I can't even understand what the fuck I'm saying.
It turns out haikus hard. Wait, no, haikus. That's 5 right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my Christ. This is why I'm not a poet. So it turns out haikus, there we go.
As hard as Shaun Rollins.
His faith has shattered.
Alright, we nailed this. Next up we got Donatum Schiffers Capitangle Shaft devotes to her.
Have you seen the dream?
Too far into Shaun's, and then
You will really cry.
next up is My Dear Old Mom. It's the worst improv exercise ever.
This is, like, look, if you ever go to a stage show and they do this shit, leave.
Leave immediately.
Leave immediately, this is awful. Yeah, here we go. Your son is quite rude.
And smart, sexy, cool, and rad.
Weird that I'm saying. You
always want one more syllable there.
I always want that last syllable, you know?
Last but not least, we got Blue Baron 15.
The weather is hot.
So take off all your clothes. Yeah.
With consent, of course.
God, what a fucking mess. If you want to reach out, whether for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, you can tweet us at AnimeConPod on Twitter, or send an email over onto animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, gang, we love you all very, very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister.
Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do.
Last week you threatened to fight me. This week I'll fight you.
What do you think would be a reasonable length for me to force upon you?
I don't know. Maybe under 3 feet would be appropriate.
That's the motto of the episode. Treat your butthole right.
Such a naughty boy.